Welcome back to Porcelain. I'm so happy you're here. Today's episode touches on something that seems ever-changing. The value of tradition in a world that seems to change faster than ever. As women, we are often the keepers of tradition in our homes and communities. The ones who ensure that the values, practices, and rituals of the past are passed on to the next generation. But in a society that glorifies innovation and constant change, tradition can feel outdated or even dismissed entirely. And yet, I believe there's something timeless and grounding about holding on to the practices and values that connect us to our history, our faith, and our families. Today, we'll explore the beauty of tradition in a modern world and how preserving these rituals can bring strength and stability amid societal change. Let's start with a simple truth. Tradition roots us. It gives us a foundation to stand on when the world feels uncertain. Whether it's family dinner every night, a yearly holiday outing, or a specific faith-based practice, traditions connect us to something larger than ourselves. They remind us of who we are, where we come from, and what we believe. And they create a sense of continuity, something our families and communities desperately need in a world that often feels fragmented and disconnected. Let's talk about 3 key areas where tradition can play an especially powerful role. In the family. Family traditions, whether big or small, are often the heart of our homes. They create shared memories, teach values, and give our children something stable to hold on to. Think about simple traditions, like baking a favorite recipe during Christmas or reading a story together at bedtime. These rituals may seem small, but they create a sense of belonging and security. In faith, faith-based traditions are essential for grounding our hearts in what matters most. Weekly worship, prayer before meals, and seasonal practices like Advent or Lent keep our focus on God's plan in our lives. These traditions also teach our children that faith is not just an abstract belief, but something we live out daily. In the community, joining in your neighborhood festival or volunteering for a Christmas event can be great ways to build connections and reinforce the values that unite us. So how can we preserve traditions in a modern world? First, prioritize what matters most. Not every tradition has to stay the same. Focus on the ones that align with your family's values and faith. It's okay to let go of rituals that no longer serve you, but be intentional about preserving the ones that do. Create new traditions. While I believe preserving the past is important, it's also beautiful to create new traditions that reflect your family's unique story. Maybe it's a weekly family movie night, a seasonal craft project, or special meals on birthdays. Teach the next generation. Share the stories and meanings behind your traditions with your children. Let them know why these practices matter and what they represent. This helps them feel connected to their heritage and more likely to carry these traditions forward. And finally, anchor traditions in faith. Let your faith guide your traditions. When rooted in God's truth, traditions take a deeper meaning and help us stay focused on what truly matters, even in changing times. I want to encourage you to reflect on the traditions in your own life. Which ones bring your family closer together? Which ones remind you of your faith and values? And is there a tradition from the past that you'd like to bring back? Traditions don't have to be elaborate. They don't require perfection. What they need is intention, an understanding that these practices, no matter how small, are part of building a legacy for the next generation. Thank you for joining me today on Porcelain. I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on the beauty of tradition in your life, whether it's a shared meal or a moment of prayer. Know that these practices have the power to shape our hearts and our lives.